All right there, YouTube. Today I'm going to show you the Q500, the Yuneec Q500 SteadyGrip that comes with this. And let me show you these. Let me show you real quick. These this Q500. Oh, there's a SteadyGrip. There's a gimbal for the DJI Phantom called the DJI Osmo that you can buy separately, and you connect your phone or whatever to it, and it's got a gimbal and a camera on it. Well, the cool thing that Yuneec does is they include with this basically the same type of deal, same type of thing, and it's included in the box. So I'm going to show you. Inside here, if you take out your camera, and it actually uses the same camera that's on the quad. So that's the cool part. So basically you have one thing. Now if you look on the bottom of the DJI 4K cameras right here, it actually has a little button you push and you slide this out. So down in the bottom of the box, it's got your remote, but down the bottom you get this. See, this is basically the replacement for the Osmo, like the DJI Osmo. It's basically the same thing. Your phone goes in the top. So your phone goes in the top like this, and you control it with your phone right here. If you've got an Android or an iPhone, right there on the top, you control the camera. The camera clips underneath it. So see how this does? Basically, I'll shut this down and show it to you. This has batteries that go in the bottom of it. It uses, how many of these batteries? Let me look. It uses 3, 6, 7, 8. No, 3, 6, yeah, 8 AA batteries. And it calls for rechargeable AA batteries only. So what I did was I got some Amazon Basics, are basically the same thing as the Eneloops. Those Eneloop rechargeables, the really good ones. So you get those, stick the rechargeable batteries in there, and it lasts a long time. So basically how this works is, I'll set this aside here for a second. The bottom of the camera comes off like this. There's a button in the front. You take this little guard off. The guard slides off the back, right? And how it works is, you push the button, you slide the gimbal forward, and that's it. There's your camera and gimbal. You take the same camera and gimbal, you stick it on the front of this. Oops, I don't want to grab it wrong. You slide on the front of this till it snaps on. That's it. There's your camera. Now there's an app that you put on your phone to control it, but all you do is on the back of this there's a little switch. You flip the switch on, set the thing down. It doesn't even have to be controlled. As long as it's level, you'll see the camera will level up here in a second. Watch, here goes the camera. It's powered up now. There it goes. Now it's level. Now the camera is perfectly level because you put it on a flat level surface. This desk is fairly level. You put it on a flat level surface to start it up. On the back of this is a button called mode, and you push it once and this green light on the back starts flashing, and you can turn this camera up and down this way. So basically you control the camera with the mode, with the dial on the bottom. So I'm turning it down and it's pointing down. I'm turning it up. Once you get it where you want it, like you get it fairly level, and there. Now it's back to the center. Oh, it goes back to center when you do mode after you click it. So no matter how you do it, it goes back to center, and it keeps pointing center. So no matter where you're going with this thing, you can turn it around and face yourself with it and actually do a selfie shot like this. Now it flashes because it's waiting to get a Wi-Fi signal on here. I didn't put CGI Go on here, so let me pause it and restart it and get it going. Okay, so basically you go and you get the CG Go 3 software, which is right here. You install it and then you open it. Okay, so my batteries died in this. The batteries have been in here for months. I put these batteries in. Oh, that's why it was crooked. I put these batteries in and I haven't even had to mess with them in months. And There. And anyway, so the batteries died. So much for trying to get this thing to show you how it syncs up with the phone. But then I found out after messing with it, when I used it, the last time I used this, I used it with my my Nexus 6P, which I recently sold on eBay because I didn't like it as much as I did the Windows phone. Come to find out, it doesn't work with every device. So it's not, I don't even see the Wi-Fi on this tablet. It doesn't even show up. The funny thing is it shows up on my Windows phone. I can connect to it on my Windows phone. It has a problem when I click, the password is 12345678890. When I type that in, it comes up and says some kind of error or something, but I can't even get the app on this, so it doesn't really matter. It wouldn't do me any good. So in the intern, the only option I have to use it right now is to hold on to this big huge monstrosity and walk around with it, because you can click the record button on the camera on this and it'll start that recording. You can change the settings on this and see the screen on here, because this is basically the controller for the Q500 drones is actually just an Android tablet in there. You can actually run Android apps on this. So I can bring in a different app. I can download the CG Go 3 app, the camera app on here and do it, but it's got a record button here, so I don't really need to have, you know, the touch screen on the screen. On the screen, the options it gives you, it allows you to change it from 4K 24p, 4K 30p, 1080p 60, 1080p 24, and then that's basically it. You can go and change color. You know, you can manually adjust settings like ISO, gain, or whatever. Color, you know, you can adjust the white balance and stuff like that. Or you just leave it on auto, which is what I do, is just leave it on auto. But I'm going to show you some clips here now of what I shot with this when I had my Nexus on it. I did a wedding. I did a couple. I shot a couple weddings and I had this connected, and I had the assistant walk down the aisle in a church. And I'll show you that, in a church, and she backed up the aisle as the couple came down. She wasn't very, you know, good at holding it, but I explained to her all you have to do is hold on to it. It's real simple. So this little guy here is real simple, really cool. So I'm going to show you some shots with it now. This has got the Go 3 camera on it, which is the same one that comes on the new, when I ordered this Typhoon H, I actually had originally ordered a Q500, not the Typhoon H. I originally ordered a Q500 non-4K, just the regular one with the white remote, the regular, the HD model. And I didn't really care for the video quality from it because everything had gone HD and I wanted the newer camera. So they sent me, I told them that I wanted to send it back and get a different one. And when I did, they said, well, just send it and pay the difference, which was like an extra $150 or something like that. And they'll send me this one. They send me a new case and the Q500 4K. And it came with the CG Go 3 camera, which I think the Q500 4Ks come with a CG Go 2 camera. Mine had the C Go 1 camera. This is the C Go 3. So I think this is the same exact camera that's on the brand new Typhoon H and the other one. So don't take my word for it, but that's what I think it is. So I'm going to show you some clips right now of this camera, handheld, just walking around with it, and I'll go ahead and roll that footage now. Okay, so this is the footage that I shot. I'm walking beside the house, and you can see it's a it's a sunny day, and obviously the camera works much better. This is shot in 4K at 30p. All this footage actually is. I'll try and grab some 1080p 60 footage, which is really nice too, and it looks fantastic. But I just happen to capture all 4K at 30p because I can slow it down a little bit from 30 to 23.98. But anyway, this is all handheld walking. You can see me in the mirror for a second walking with the camera. I just tried to get a couple different shots, and because the camera, it's a little bit fidgety when you click like the record button on your phone. It takes a second to start recording, so you don't think it's recording, and then you're like, okay, it's recording. That was the one issue I had. The other issue I had was sometimes you would click, when you connect to the camera, you connect to Wi-Fi. My Nexus 6P kept popping up an error saying that there's no internet access, and then it would automatically disconnect. Unless I got it like real quick, once it connected, I went ahead and launched the camera app and started the camera, and then I could see it, and then it would not come back up with that error. It's like it had to have something else. So here's another clip here of a guy playing guitar. So this is an indoor shot. None of this has been color graded, by the way. None of it. This is all directly out of the camera. No color grading, no adjusting anything. This is directly out of the camera. I noticed it has a kind of bluish washed out look to it on some of the shots, like indoors. Like the outdoor shots look perfect, but the indoor shots, you see that girl's, the makeup artist, shirt's got like a little bluish gray color to it. It's almost like, I'm not sure if that's the actual color. It seems like there's like a slight haze or tint. Okay, now we're back outside. I just grabbed a couple real quick. Here in just a second, I'm going to show you what that sounds like with audio, because you can record actually with audio at the same time. And the mic, from what I understand, before they included the DJI Osmo, included the little microphone that clips onto it, the audio is better on this. But the other option is, if you've got your phone sitting there facing on the top, facing out, you could record audio separate on the phone. Just start an audio recording app and start recording audio on the phone, and then sync it back. But it is nice to have audio directly on the device, and I wish I'd done that to the church shot later, because then it'd be easier to sync with audio. So this is a first look. She walks down. I have another camera pointed at his face from the other angle. That's my tripod on the right there by the thing. I'm getting a shot with a 80 to 200. There it is right there. That was getting the shot. But I got another wide shot from the back here with the thing. And I mean, I wasn't afraid to start using this camera right away off the thing, because it worked great. Here's the groom. That's the groom holding the beer bottles. So he's handing his buddy a beer, and I thought this looked pretty good. Okay, now this has audio.
All right, they're looking at each other. Yeah, we'll do each one twice. I got to
hear this audio.
And I got to move around. There we go. Both up here for one.
By the way, this is an example of the messed up. I didn't realize it was recording, but it's gives you a good idea when you walk through the door. Okay, so what's neat about that is I can't tell, so I was just walking through the door. Anyway, this is back in the church. I wish I had audio on this for a couple. You can't adjust it on the fly when you're sitting here flying it. So this is all auto, but it looks pretty darn good. And that was a good shot of them coming down the aisle that I would normally get like with a fancy Steadicam. All right, so to wrap it up, this is an amazing product. It's a product that you can use. It comes for, I mean, basically it's thrown in. I think you can buy this separate for like $150. So it is high, but it's not. I think I got to look up and see what the price is on the DJI Osmo. But the Osmo I mean, you have a camera that's with it. So you basically leave the camera on your drone, and then the Osmo comes with a camera. But the cool thing about this is it saves you money, because you just take the camera off of the drone. It's the exact same camera. You just swap it over to here. And the cool thing about that is you can use some pretty cool things, because the settings in the camera and everything is exactly the same as on the drone. So you technically fly the drone down, pull the thing over, switch over, and then seamlessly make it look like the drone went into a building by putting it on this and then walking through the door. So you could have the drone fly down from up above, down by close to a front door, have it hover there for a second at 4 feet or whatever, land it, cut the footage, go to this shot, hold this at the same height, 4 feet, and then walk through the door. And if you cut it seamlessly, if you do it just right, it'd probably take quite a bit of practice, but if you do it just right, you could make it look like the drone came down and then went through the building, into the building. So that's pretty cool because it uses the exact same camera, so it'll be the exact same. Now, technically the DJI does use the same camera. You have the same camera on both, but it is a different actual camera on both. So even though it's the exact same model, we all know that different cameras of the exact same model sometimes show a different picture. So depending on how they automatically correct it, unless you go through and manually correct it, manually set everything in the camera, you could technically do it. So, but for the price difference, this thing is amazing, especially since you can. It's basically the same thing. I mean, you can turn it towards yourself, so it's basically the same thing. It doesn't have the where you can move the camera. You know, on the DJI, you have a thing you can slide, and it will actually rotate the camera. This one only points forward, but just move your hand. I mean, really, technically, you can do this with it. You know, so, and it comes in the case with the drone. It comes with it. With my Q500, it came with this. So it's basically an added feature that comes with it. And I like that it has rechargeable batteries, not some specialized battery pack. You don't have to pull the drone battery and hook it up with a cable to it or whatever. Like, there was another guy, Barnacles. I'll link to his video below, because it was a good video of, he shot a DJI Osmo and had it pointed at himself, of him doing a review of a DJI Osmo. I don't have two of these. I bought this. This is mine. So I don't have two of them. I can't point one at myself. But I'll link below. His video is pretty good, and the DJI Osmo does look really nice. But this is an alternative. You know, this is something that's you get a drone and a gimbal, really. You know, you can buy this separate and buy that, and it's probably close to the same price as the DJI Osmo, if you wanted just the gimbal. But so that's the other option. On the DJI Osmo, if you want just the gimbal, you get just the gimbal and the handheld thing. You can actually technically never buy a drone and have this. But the my phones are going off. Somebody's commenting on stuff. But anyway, the difference is on this one, if you're gonna buy a drone, which you really should buy a drone. They're awesome. If you're going to buy a drone, hey, get this one. Get the Typhoon H, or the Typhoon, or even the H. The H is awesome. The H actually has a model that comes with this too. Get the Typhoon, the Yuneec Q500, Typhoon 4K, and it comes with a case. You get the drone, you get extra blades, you get 2 batteries, you get the remote, you get the handheld stabilizer, the gimbal, the camera, the 4K. You get everything ready to fly out of the box, and it's really easy to fly. It's an awesome, by the way, I love this controller, because the tablet, unlike the DJI's, tablet's built in it. So you don't have to you don't have to find another tablet, you don't have to use a separate phone, you don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to sync or not. There's your tablet. It's built in. So I like this. I love this thing compared to, I mean, I've used a DJI, I've flown a DJI, but I'm saying compared to like the Osmo and stuff, this is pretty cool that it comes with it like this, and it's 150 bucks. So it's cheaper, and it's a great solution. Highly recommended. Have a good day, YouTube. Take it easy.